It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show, hanging out in the mothership, which is Studio 22. The Puppet Master Bark is driving the ship. We're going to get to him in a minute. I want to remind everybody the holidays are here. Christmas is around the corner, literally right here upon us. I can't believe that we are nearing the end of 2019. I want everyone listening to go and get blazetv.com/Chad. You can right now get 20% off with an annual subscription to Blaze TV. And just use promo code CHAD20 off. CHAD20 off. Sounds weird to say. CHAD20 off. But whatever. I don't even know why that's weird to say, but it just sounds weird to say. So go get Blaze TV. Go get it. Go get it. Check it out. And, of course, if you're watching this or listening to this podcast, do me a favor. The only thing I want for Christmas is everybody that watches this, everybody that listens to this, I want to make sure that you're on YouTube.com. You can go to YouTube.com/Chad Prather and the numeral 1. It's going to take you to my page. You can hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It will notify you whenever new episodes of the Chad Prather Show come out. I just want subscribers. It's 100% free to you and makes all the difference in the world to me. There you go. The Puppet Master Mark and Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, hanging out over there in the Mother Pod. The Mother Pod. Look at that fantastic logo behind you guys. Those of you listening where podcasts are offered are not able to see the beauty, which is that logo behind Candace.
Candace is the beauty.
Candace really is a beautiful girl, isn't she? She's a beautiful girl. Just look at her blush. I love it. I love it. You got nothing to say about that, do you? Okay. All right. It always takes her a minute to get the microphone over there. There you go. Okay. Hot news.
And Mark's pretty, too.
Mark's pretty. He's a pretty man. Okay. Well, that was good. That was good radio right there. Hey, Hot News Natalie hanging out here with her very racist West Point T-shirt on. Oh, my gosh. We'll talk about that in a minute because, everybody, all teenagers, all cadets, and shipmen and whatever they call all those midshipmen,
Navy.
All the Army, Navy, they're all racists anyway. Matt Plume hanging out at Party Foul's pub along with Party Foul. Party Foul Steve was in Vegas over the weekend, won a big jackpot by accident.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what he was doing.
No. I just put the money in and started hitting a button because we had about 10 minutes till dinner. On the 8th time I hit it, jackpot.
It was a slot machine?
Slot machine, penny slots.
Oh.
$5,000
on a penny slot?
On a $1.50 bet hit the jackpot.
Oh.
And what was funny is I'm sitting over there at the card table because we had our show out there in Vegas, and thanks to everybody who came out during NFR and hung out with us. It was a great show. And we're doing so much new stuff and material, and it's a whole new show. The new tour coming out in 2020 is Am I Crazy? Having a blast with it. And the answer is yes, I am. So is everybody else. But I'm over there playing cards, and all of a sudden his wife is right behind in my ear. She's like, he might be a little bit late for dinner. And I said, what was wrong? Is he okay? And she's like, yeah, he just hit a big jackpot over there. He's not quite sure how to get the money out of the machine. I said, you hit a button. It says cash out.
I didn't even do that. They came without me asking.
Oh, I bet they did.
Like, boom, and here's your tax form to fill out.
Yeah.
And it's like, apparently it's going to cost me about $1,500 out of that.
Well, that's why I don't play slot machines, because once that voucher comes, it notifies you got to pay the taxes on that sucker. Yeah, I'm talking to you, IRS.
Yeah.
Criminal enterprise.
But I have 2 years before I have to file it. I don't have to file it this year, so.
Yeah, you probably be living in Guam or something.
Ain't no telling by then.
So I don't know. Anyway, what do you think about that whole? Okay, so for those of you that I'm referring to the deal at West Point, the ArmyNavy game was back Saturday over the weekend, and of course they're doing ESPN there, and if you're looking over the shoulder of the guy who's talking there, they're doing the little they're doing the little okay thing, they're doing this right, which is the whole game or the.
I definitely played that.
Yeah, I mean we've always played that, and all the people that want to take screenshots of me doing some symbol that everybody hates, like it's white supremacists.
Yeah.
There I'm doing 2 of them, right? So they're saying, "Oh my God, these cadets, all these people, they need to," because it was the Army guys who were doing it, right?
So what I saw this. I saw it was Army and then actually 1 or 2 Navy guys. They were right by each other. And
they were all by each other, and they were all doing it
together,
because if you've never played the circle game, it's you put it You know, like if I'm sitting there with my buddy or whatever, and I'll just put my hand, you know, right here, and then it's like, oh, I made you look. I mean, it's basically a made you look game.
It was a made you look, and then if you put your finger in it, right,
and break the circle,
and you break the circle, then
it's
that
a
was
military.
the game.
You know,
And that's
military
taking the
does
game.
it. Every branch of the military does it.
That's taking the game to a whole new level. But you're exactly right. So, and then it got to be online where people would be like, boom, you know, we used to do it all the time. We'd send pictures of, you know, and you just wouldn't see it, right? It was like, boom, and it was in the thing. And so what they're accusing them of is of course, they're making white supremacist symbols. They weren't. They were playing a game. They're kids playing a game, okay? And it's just absolutely ludicrous. And you say, well, they should know. They should know that that is a symbol of white power. And the reason they say that is if you look at this, the fingers make a W and the circle makes a P. So white power. They said because the white supremacists have adopted this, and there are pictures of these white morons, you know.
Supposedly in 2017, so that's actually fairly new.
Yeah.
I thought the
apparently
white supremacists, you would take the pinky and do it like that and do that, and they would put it in their coat when the old pictures when they were doing this. That's how they were doing
See,
it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You
So-
go back and look it up. That's white power, not the circle game.
So if you guys are out there thinking that we're sitting around studying up on what symbols the white power morons are using, you got another thing coming. We really don't keep up with assholes. So that's, you know, if you really counted how many Klan members and how many white neo-Nazis and all those people, you're probably looking at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 max in the entire country. So we really don't sit around identifying and studying the symbols of fringe groups like that.
Well, and if you're seriously sensitive and upset about a thing,
Yeah.
here we go again, just a thing to be upset, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, to me, because Joseph and I, we went to the game. We actually flew out to Philadelphia, went to the game, had an amazing time. What I think got lost was the unbelievable, amazing respect and reception that our president received from that crowd when they announced him.
Yeah.
It was, everybody stood up, everybody started screaming at the top of their lungs. Because last year, we went to the game last year, same thing happened, but the only thing that the media talked about was a few haters outside booing him. That's what they led with.
Yeah.
President Trump greeted by, with boos outside the stadium rather than all of our men and women in uniform standing up and saluting him because he's our president.
Yeah.
So now that's lost because of this.
Because of that. Because of the whole thing right there.
And they did that on purpose.
Absolutely.
And like they did it just because the president was there. So, what I'm saying is, and you do, I mean, I've even heard different friends of mine who are in the middle of a speech. Like Kellyanne Conway was given, when she was talking, and her hand was just fell like that while she was making a point. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh my God, look at this. Come on, the outrage mob is just stupid. They've just gotten dumb on this. And by the way, I mean, I took a little screenshot here for those of you that want to talk about disciplinary action for these cadets. This right here, if you could zoom in on my phone there, I don't know if you can or not. That's a picture of about 20 African-American black female cadets holding up the Black Power sign right there. There was no disciplinary action. That's from 2016. All right. They're holding up the Black Power fist. Boom. There it is. Black Power. They're all holding it up. And there they are, standing on the front porch there. So no outrage there. No problem. But Black Power. We know that's Black Power. Why can't, where's the outrage mob?
Well, you can't have white power.
What's the deal? So again, it's the outrage mob. You want to get pissed off about
Well, and quite
something.
frankly, I'm not offended by any of it.
I don't really care.
I don't care. I care less.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Black Rifle Coffee Company, a veteran-owned and operated premium small batch roast-to-order coffee company for people who love America, not you white supremacists. They import only the highest quality beans from around the world and always roast to order their coffees for you after you place your order to ensure that you receive the freshest coffee available. They develop their explosive roast profiles with the same mission focus they learned as military members. serving this great country. All Black Rifle Coffee Company blends are available in whole bean and ground varieties. They also have mini roasts available for purchase in single-serve coffee rounds for your machine. Hey, did you know that giving the gift of coffee can help alleviate procrastination? And if you're anything like me, you got that. Don't be a Grinch. You can even get Steve from accounting a gift with Black Rifle Coffee Company's holiday gift-giving extravaganza. Throughout the month of December, Black Rifle Coffee Company is releasing the best product bundles in America. It's one-stop shopping for everyone on your list, from the outdoorsman to the frat bro that hasn't quite grown up yet. You know, the still flashing the white power symbol. There's even something for the four-legged wonders on your list. Wake up to America's coffee by going to blackriflecoffee.com/watchchad. That's blackriflecoffee.com/watchchad. And enter the discount WatchChad to receive 20% off of your order. It will also apply to the Black Rifle Coffee Club. Go up there, sign up right now. Anyway, you know, when I'm ever doing those ad reads, I always have to deal with Natalie, who's sitting over here flicking her tongue and trying to distract me and do all these things. You're such a helpful.
That was a long read.
It was a pretty long read.
That was a long read, but you did great.
Yeah, I can read.
Yeah.
I can read. Except for the guys at Black Rifle. When they write this ad copy stuff, they don't understand the concept of punctuation.
Yeah.
Anyway, Twitter's bringing back election labels for the 2020 candidates. You know, are you verified on Twitter?
No.
No, I am. Steve?
Well, you're important.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I should be, though. How can we do that?
Hey,
start using Twitter for one thing.
I'm verified
Folks can
idiot
follow
on
me
Twitter.
at
I'm not
Watch
good at
Chad on Twitter. But, you know, they have the blue check marks. Like, if you're running for office, they'll verify you on Twitter because they don't want anybody getting faked out on who's, like, might have a... Like Sean Spicer, the former press secretary for the White House, there's a very popular account on Twitter that's Sean Spicier. All right? And it's a parody account, but a lot of people think it's the actual Sean Spicer who's saying these things. And so it's interesting. And so they're wanting people, they don't want people to, these social media companies, they've been under a lot of scrutiny because they don't want people to be misled and they don't want their services to be misused by these, you know, malicious individuals and groups that are trying to influence elections around the world. Now, the part of me, and Candace, I want you to weigh in on this as well. If you're so stupid that you're getting influenced by Facebook or Twitter when it comes to the elected officials you want governing you, don't vote. Just don't even vote. Candace, I mean, do you feel like this is a little bit over the top? Like, I know who I voted for in every election every polling booth I've ever stepped into. I knew who I was voting for going in. I voted for them. I've never been influenced by anything from social media to anybody in line while I'm waiting.
I think it's definitely an overcorrection.
Yeah.
They're trying to kind of save themselves from whatever they think happened the first time. But it's definitely an overstep of boundaries, just because I think no one's going to be entirely influenced to change their mind going into the voting booth from something that they see on Twitter one time.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous to even think that, you know, that would have that much sway.
It's dumb.
You know how I vote? When I'm standing in line, whoever has the biggest red sign. And I remember their name.
I mean, okay, so that you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Like, okay, do signs at polling places, do people standing out on the street holding those signs up, do those influence you? No, they don't influence me. I don't drive down the street and somebody I see someone holding an election sign. I don't go, you know what? I'm voting for that guy or that lady. I'm just not going to do that. It's absolutely ludicrous the way that people think. But then again, I've read your comments on social media, and I just got to say, damn, the ignorance that's out there. I mean, it's amazing. Understand, people, the concepts of sarcasm and humor and tongue-in-cheek and parody and, you know, did Russia intervene? Did they interfere with our election? This gives me a headache to even think about this, simply because I have so many people sending me text messages going, oh my God, Trump's getting impeached. In the House, yeah, they're going to vote for him to be impeached because there's more Democrats. I'm sitting here watching these mindless wanderings of this so-called inquiry You know, I can't even watch it anymore because everybody's saying something on one side, the others are saying something on the other side. Nobody's providing any evidence on this thing. So it's just going to come down to the House vote. Of course, there's more Democrats in the House than there is Republicans. So, yes, he's going to get an impeachment vote. Then it's going to go to the Senate, which I'm actually happy about. So let's get in there to it. Let's get some people up on the stand. Let's call some witnesses, and let's get the opportunity for the president to come in and call his witnesses, and and call who he wants to testify. Because did Russia interfere in the election? Yes, they did. Of course they did. We interfere in theirs. I don't understand if y'all get that or not. That's called, having enemies. We have geopolitical enemies. And so there are those who are out there that are going to interfere to the degree that they can. We do the same thing. We're not innocent in that. So stop worrying, folks. It's all going to pan out. It's all going to be fine. Quit. Just chill out, all right? The idea that Trump colluded with that Russian interference is a whole different conversation. The Mueller report provided nothing for us to hang a hat on. That's why they moved on to this Ukraine deal, this phone call. And this the whole thing, once this thing gets into the Senate, one of the things they're talking about right now in the Senate, actually, and we've seen the FBI, even Jim Comey was on the news on Sunday talking about I was wrong in how I handled the information with this deal, and the FBI was wrong.
Yeah, he kind of took his hands off of it. He was like, well, I don't get involved.
Well, too late, buddy, because you've already come out under oath and said a lot of things, and now you're incriminating yourself to say I was wrong in how I handle this stuff because you have this fake document, the Steele dossier, which was out there, even talking about Trump going to Russia and getting peed on in the same bed that Obama slept in and stuff like that. I mean, it's completely unfounded stuff, right? Well, anyway, we'll see what pans out. But let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, and if you're getting influenced by Twitter on who you're going to vote for, don't vote. Harvey Weinstein, he's defending himself. Remember that guy?
I saw this.
The couch guy?
The weekend.
Couch guy?
Yeah.
Weinstein.
That he's done more for women.
He's done more for women than anybody else.
Film and
I bet he has.
He's done more for and to
them.
Yeah. So he says, I feel like a forgotten man. So he's 67 years old. He just gave his first interview in like a year to, what was it, the Post? And so he had just gotten a couple of vertebrae removed from his back or something like that. You saw him wobbling around there looking like he was out of his mind, kind of pulling the Bill Cosby when he came out of court the other day.
Saw it.
And,
pretty fragile.
Yeah, he's looking all fragile. I bet if you trotted a Victoria's Secret model out in front of him naked, I bet he'd get unfragile real quick. So yeah, he had the guys on both sides of him, and like, come on, dude. But didn't stop him from going out on the town at night and going shopping and stuff like that. But says his back ailment seriously deteriorated. But he's a forgotten man. He says, I made more movies directed by women and about women than any filmmaker. And I'm talking about 30 years ago. I'm not talking about now when it's vogue. I did it first. I pioneered it. It got all eviscerated because of what happened. My work has been forgotten. Yeah, if you like screwing around with women, I mean, and you're going to keep raping them.
Well, it sounds like he followed through with the promises he made on the couch then.
Pretty much so, yeah. I mean, if you keep parading women through there and abusing them, then, yeah, you probably were doing a lot with women. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they call that pioneering. Yeah, there's another word for that. So, anyway, we'll see what happens with that whole deal. He's going to court January 6th, Manhattan. Did you see Greta Thunberg, my favorite little Danish girl? Is she Swedish? She's Swedish, not Danish.
Person of the year, right?
Oh, she is. Time Magazine really went out.
Should we take a moment out just to congratulate her?
Honor her, just for Greta.
Yeah.
For Greta.
Way to go.
Yeah. If anybody, and I love how I like watching this on YouTube, and I see the trolls that'll come out and just start talking, and they're just wasting space and energy. I want anybody to just tell, and I'm amazed at the Greta Thunberg apologists, the ones who defend her. Like, don't pick on her. She's just a young girl with passion. We should have more of that. Well, passion ain't saving the planet. I want to know what she's done. Mm-hmm. What's she done? So there was a picture posted of her, and she was sitting on the floor on a train with all of her bags next to her.
Yep.
And she said she put the tweeted out and said she was on, quote, overcrowded trains through Germany. Yeah, so she kind of made them look bad. Well, Deutsche Bahn came out and said that that her overcrowded claims were just hot air, really. Claimed that she had a first-class seat between Kassel and Hamburg, and that other members of her team were already sitting in first class. She has a team, by the way, from Frankfurt onwards. It would have been even nicer, they said, if you had also reported how friendly and competently our team served you in our seat in first class. She claimed the jam-packed trains were actually great and having to sit on the floor wasn't an issue. There is no problem, of course, and I never said it was. Overcrowded trains is a great sign because it means the demand for train travel is high.
Well, that means your carbon footprint would be smaller. The more people you can pack on that train, that'll pack it full.
Yeah, but don't fart.
And you're not going to breathe as much either because you're going to be crammed in there so tight.
The only place she needs to be sitting is back in her classroom. That's it. She's got some learning to do.
Go hunger.
What does she have a team for?
Oh, it's a whole deal, man. She needs a team. Don't talk negatively about a 16-year-old with passion.
No, I said she needs to go back to school.
Yeah.
She's 16, and I don't.
What if she's finished with school?
She's not.
Oh.
She said to the UN that she deserves to be back in school, but you have destroyed my childhood.
How dare you?
How dare you?
So she's just quit, gave up on life now?
Well, she has a team.
No, she has a team.
So she's busy.
Yeah. And she's not political, remember that, even though pictures have now emerged with her of standing there with AOC, with...
AOC's not political either.
Yeah, she thinks she is. And she's bumping fists with Obama, and she's, of course, with, what's Mr. Climatologist, former vice president himself from Tennessee? Al Gore. Thank you. I didn't want to say the name.
He invented the internet, didn't he?
He did.
Did you hear? I just saw this recently. With Bloomberg being in the race, you put your hat in, it's going to start exploding. And I saw on ABC that they're finding revealing sexist remarks and the way he's handling the women in his businesses.
Yeah,
just they're coming after him.
Yeah, Joe Biden, it also came out over the last weekend that for the last 30 years, he's paid women less that work for him, his staffers. The women made considerably less.
The one that I heard, actually, I think this morning, maybe yesterday morning, was the woman who I think she is in a lawsuit, or it's settled, but she can't talk. But I do know that in the lawsuit, it claimed that she went in to tell him that she was pregnant. She was very excited, and his response was, "Kill it." Mm-hmm. So I think that's frowned upon.
Not if you're on the left. Doesn't matter. You could do whatever you want on the left. See, that's the outrage mob right there. The left is the outrage mob. They want to, whatever they want, they get. You start reading this stuff, as I was alluding to earlier, the Steele dossier and the Hillary Clinton Foundation, which, by the way, the Clinton Foundation apparently just said, you know what? We forgot to report $1 million donation from Qatar, the country of Qatar, who, by the way, is basically the people that founded ISIS, chief funder of ISIS. How do you forget to report $1 million? Speaking of that, almost daily we hear stories of terrifying assaults on free speech in America. The people are so unglued out there, they accuse conservatives, Christians, people of the Jewish faith, of being Nazis simply because they disagree with the leftist doctrine. Instead of engaging in an exchange of ideas, they seek to silence anyone they disagree with through obstruction, threats, and even violence. Even their own campus newspapers. In No Safe Spaces, radio talk show host Dennis Prager and podcast king Adam Carolla exposed the attack on free speech and free thought. It began in the universities, and now it is affecting our workplace, environment, social media, and if left unchecked, even your home. Might be next. Don't let it happen, folks. Go see a new film that's put out by these guys, No Safe Spaces. It features Ben Shapiro, Ann Coulter, Jordan Peterson, a whole host of others as they fight back against the assault on our freedoms. No Safe Spaces is in theaters all across America right now. This is a chance for you to let your voice be heard on freedom of speech. So go to nosafespaces.com, click the theater button, find out where it is playing. Go to nosafespaces.com. The Founding Fathers put freedom of speech first for a reason, and without it, none of our other rights are possible. nosafespaces.com. Go there right now. Now look, Hallmark Channel. Do you watch the Hallmark Channel?
I have.
You have.
I don't watch it on a regular basis, but I do like those made-for-TV movies.
Typically, it is the home stay-at-home, housewife type. Now, people are going to get triggered and say, "How dare you?" Well, there are people who consider themselves stay-at-home, homemakers, housewives. I'm not saying they don't do anything.
No, they're very busy.
They're busy, but there are stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home wives. There are people who don't work outside of the home.
They're stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
And
typically
stay-at-home
and
husbands.
traditionally and stereotypically, we got stay-at-home moms.
Matt, do you
stay-at-home
watch the
wives.
Hallmark Channel?
Never once.
Never once. Not
Never
even
have I
once.
watched it.
No, not a
He's
not a
too
single
busy
time.
saving lives.
If they killed
Yeah.
a few more people on there, I would probably watch it.
Yeah, they
know.
they don't kill them on there. They just
Violent.
die off, and then
They
you
have
find new
cancer and
love
they die.
Yeah,
I like the love movies.
yeah, I bet you do. Anyway, there was a commercial, Hallmark Channel. They pulled Zola. There was an ad for Zola's a wedding planning site, and they featured two brides kissing at the altar, and they pulled it following a complaint from the conservative group 1 Million Moms. It's the holiday season, right? So first of all, Hallmark pulled it, but they reinstated it. Okay, I've seen several commercials of dudes kissing, women kissing on several different networks. I mean, they just kind of flash it in there like it's a normal thing. And whatever. What were you gonna say?
Well, they reinstated it because of that group.
Yeah.
They are so angry. The backlash that they received for pulling it outweighed the conservative movement to say, "Hey, this isn't appropriate."
Yeah.
So they're putting it back up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, I see there's gay and lesbian scenes all the time now. That
Here's the thing.
every channel.
Here's the thing. You don't want to see two women kissing. It's just
Yeah.
my personal opinion. Don't watch TV.
Yeah,
If it's gonna so offend you, then just don't watch TV.
I'm the same way.
I mean, you're gonna sit there and truly expect your morals and your values to come from Hollywood. I don't care if
Right.
it is the Hallmark Channel. I mean, just you're not watching Christian broadcasting here. You're watching the Hallmark Channel. Hallmark also makes, I'm sure they make cards that are geared towards LGBT couples. Love cards.
There's something for everybody out there.
Thanks, Steve. Good God.
It's good.
I knew it was coming. So just don't watch TV. It's real simple. Now, oh my God, Chad, why aren't you standing against? Because listen. I'll just give you this as an example, and then we'll hush about the whole thing. I was in Cote d'Ivoire. I was in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, West Africa. And I was with a gentleman. He's a leader of a large organization. We were walking through downtown Abidjan, and we were walking into this one community. And there were people out there, and this is going to sound funny to the American Western mind, but this is very common practice out there. There were people who were out there practicing voodoo and just black magic stuff. Then there was some pretty satanic stuff that was going on, openly so. They were doing their little rites, rituals, and ceremonies. And, this guy who identified as a Christian leader in this organization, he looked at me and he said, "This place is not for us. We need to go the other direction." He didn't go in there, throw his hands up, part the seas, and, call down thunder and lightning and all that stuff. He just said, "This ain't our place. We need to go another way." And that's why I'm saying to those of you who, you don't quit trying to change everybody to suit you. If it's not your place, get out of there. If Hallmark Channel is going to do that, then don't watch a Hallmark Channel. If that offends you and that bothers you, they're going to continue doing that. Don't look to Hollywood for your moral compass.
Right.
Don't do that. Get out of there. It's not your place. Go the other way.
We say that about comedians. If you don't like their comedy, then don't go.
I'm not
Turn it
going to
off.
apologize to the person who stepped into my space willingly by their own free choice and didn't like it. That's why I'm not apologizing to anybody. You can just tune me out, turn me off. But it's amazing to me. I have all these people on Twitter and Instagram and all that who just, they follow me. And you go to their page, it says follows you, and they want to get on there and criticize me constantly. And I'm like, you obviously get off on this. You enjoy it. That's your entertainment. You're here by choice. If you really didn't like me, you would just go away, you know. But you're the one who's choosing to do it. You don't have to do it. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I say about that. That's what I say about all this stuff, whether it's comedy, whether it's television, if it's movies, if it's whatever. If I don't like you, I don't have to be around you. Mm-hmm. It's the beauty of it. Nobody's forcing me to sit here across from you. Nobody's forcing you to have the Hallmark Channel on in your home. Yeah. So there it is. Problem solved. Easy. Problem solved. And by the way, if you're on the right or you're on the left politically and you don't like what somebody's saying, then you can ignore it. Or scream at them. You can get away. I'm making a serious thing. But that's just it. You just don't have to deal with it. It's not your place. Move away. How fed up are you of just everybody being so sensitive? Well, look, if I believe in traditional American values, now, see, even saying that, somebody would look at me and say, what do you mean traditional? You mean like 1860 when we had slaves? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's dumb. And I can statistically prove how dumb that is very easily. But if you're going to look at something like that, that's not what I'm saying. But if my family wants to go to church, if my family wants to pray before a meal, if my family wants to, get together and say Merry Christmas, if my family, I can list these things all day long. And you don't like that? Well, you don't have to come to my house for Christmas. I'm not doing it for you. If I want to read a Bible, if I want to give my kids if I want to talk about not having premarital sex with my kids, it's not your damn business. Yeah. If your kids can go everybody on the planet. I really don't care. Yep. I don't care who your kids screw. I don't care if your kids get STDs. You're going to truck them what? Yeah. Oh, truck. So, I just don't care. I don't know if that's strong enough to say, but I said it. So, hey, Matt Plume, Party Foul Steve, Hot News Natalie, of course, Candice, the Queen of the Ethiopians, and, of course, the Puppet Master Mark. We're hanging out Studio 22. We're going to get out of here. I'm reminding you to go to blazetv.com/Chad. Use promo code CHAD20 off and get 20% off for your annual subscription, Blaze TV. Don't miss it. We'll see you here tomorrow night. Love you. God bless you. Bye.